This is Baruch, still lift manager here at the Tikkun Elevator Kol. We're deep into the story of Purim. This part we're at right now is on page Lamed Vav, and we're reading these words. Yispoyer hatam lama ana osim Purim b'kol shana v'shana. Why do we make Purim every year? This is something that happened 2,600 years ago. So what's going on? So let's make it easy, and we'll read down below, and we'll just go through this as best we can. Number Lamed Ches says, Amnam hiyos yemecha Purim ha'elu na'asim b'kol shana v'shana. We do this Purim every month, every year. V'lo hispik la'asos b'zman hu levado, and it wasn't sufficient that it just should happen way back when. V'ha rav levayer inyan yisodis, and the gay of the kol mo'adim shechod shecha b'kol shana v'shana, they come back every single year. The world keeps turning, and we come back to the same cycle. It was a long time, but in this year it's going to be renewed. And he says, why does it get renewed every year? If it was because of this tremendous light that took place way back when in Persia, that it was sufficient to do Purim just in that 1 year, that's it. So the reason why we do it every year, Hashem Yisbarach Barachamah, that light, which was a situation where the light of Abba was inside of Ima and passed through onto the outside and produced a tremendous volume of light. He says that was then. Lotus Bata La'ola, but this same light should never be completely lost. So La'olam, because Shana V'Shana V'Yamim B'Chem Atzban, and in these days, now, every single year, it comes back. Elachatam Sheyesh Purim B'Kol Shana V'Shana, the reason why we have Purim every year. Shashem Yisbarach Baracham of Ratza Shaha'arach, on the floor Chazos, that this tremendous light Shemeir Etaris Yisod Abba L'chotz, which that is the secret. Shena'asis Machmas Hiyos Mochin the Abba V'Ima B'Levosha B'Tocha Nook, is because the lights of the Abba V'Ima are inside of the Nook. Bismana Dormita, and as well as their Anpin is sleeping. Tehiyah L'Doros, this same light should come to us every single generation. Because every year during the months of Purim, or the days of Purim, it would be revisited once again. It's a miracle. We're going to explain what the miracle was. The Moadim are really only a sign of a miracle that took place a long time ago. It's not just a sign or remembrance. That's what he's saying. He says, that the time that we're in right now, it's also shining for us. And it's never lost. Now, what's the problem? Because after the Zah falls into deep sleep, the next stage is where the Nook becomes full height and winds up face to face with Zer Anpin, which is the position in which Yichud takes place, which produces also tremendous amount of light. And now all the Mochim which went into, that is the Mochim of Abba Ve'ima, are now into Zer Anpin. And the aspect of this light, Klal doesn't come out at all, because that is a light that only appears at the end after the Malchus of the Nook. It goes out through her Yesod, it goes out into Gilui, where it's a tremendous light. And it becomes, as a result of going back into Zer Anpin, and it becomes hidden inside of him. So how do you get the light? So he writes, the Tiv writes, Hine kol adormita, im his galos shechel l'taras yisod Abba, together with that gilui of the yisod of Abba, who rak ba'ofen zmani, it's only something that happens at its right time, because it's in the middle of the process in which the Zer Anpin and the Nukva are going to come face to face for mating. But now that she's all the shefa that built up the Nuk is grown up. He said, Ain't a Yisod Abba niknas the Nuk elo the Zer Anpin. The Yisod of Abba doesn't go into the Nuk, it goes into Zer Anpin, and that same situation is gone. And b'meila avshavavada matzav ARI. So we know that the ARI that's produced as a result of the yichud between them, when they're face to face, who gadol ma'od v'harbech b'yosech k'she'omdim ach b'ach, and it's much greater than any light could possibly be produced when they're still in the back-to-back situation. V'bade bisman dormita, ubederech klal kol ha'ara sheyesh bisman she'omdim ach ba'ach, the whole light that they received when they were back-to-back, v'adai sheyesh lecha b'gam bisman amidas panim b'panim, but it also existed at the time that they were standing panim b'panim, the Veshefa Godol Yoser, with a tremendous amount of more light pouring in. But that concept that we said before was that the tip end, which is really the malchus of the Yesod of Abba, comes out and shines in Gilui for such a tremendous light of the consciousness of God was there with us. It only took place at the time of the Dormita. Because she becomes hidden inside of Zer Anpin. She is so the Abba Mistayim Besof Yisod the Zer Anpin, because now inside of Zer Anpin it doesn't come out. It stays within inside of the Yisod of Zer Anpin. So he said, that every year during the time of Purim, and even though they're not in the situation where there's a gilui of the Yisod of Abba coming through the Yisod of Ima, you turn back around, and now the Yisod of Abba is inside of Zer Anpin, and in Mitztayim it ends at the Yisod of Zer Anpin. He said, even though that's the situation now, but there will be a revelation of this light, the same light, below Tisbatel, and it will never be nullified. But Tam Inyan Purim who? Sharatzach Hashem Yisbarach, that Hashem Yisbarach wanted. Shebakal Shana V'Shana K'Shachozim Yamecha Purim. Af Im Yihya B'Matziv Shazun Omdim Pana B'Panim, and even if you see them in a state where Zun is standing face to face, because Zos Yihya Gilui Shel Ha'arach Zos, there will be a revelation on the day of Purim of this tremendous light, Shalataras Yisod the Abba, of the extension of the Yisod of Abba. But Inyan Hu, so how do we understand this? Ki b'kol shana b'yamim ahem, kasher yikantzach amochem barachol b'sod dormita the Zer Anpin. So the processes of the dormita is that the mochin come out of Zer Anpin and go into the Nuk. During that period of time, that's called the dormita of Zer Anpin. And even though that after this, they should go back face to face. Lotis basal ha'arach, and this keres, which should not be nullified, this ha'ara that took place during the Dormita period, even though they're not panim b'panim, they're not back to back anymore. V'tishacha b'sham kayemet v'nershemes, so there it's going to have its place. Av gam acher histalkos ha'mochim, even after the mochin leave Abba. I said it wrong. Even after the mochin leave the Nuk, the Zer Anpin, that is, the mochin of Abba, are still going to be there. What does he mean? Even though that the process where the mochin left Zer Anpin, went into the Nukva, then appeared as a tremendous miracle on the other side in Gilui after the Yisod of the Nukva, they come back out, they go back into Zer Anpin, And now what's going to happen? How are you going? They're not going to be able to be revealed anymore. B'kol shana v'yibivira Purim, kishu yikantzach ha'mamochem b'toch ha'rochel b'zman ha'dormita d'zir anpin, az af acher ha'shach ha'mochim chosrim el zir anpin, and then after the mochim come back into zir anpin, v'chosrim zir anpin v'rochel panim b'panim, and they're in that position, b'kol makom tishar ha'aros yisod ha'abba, and even so, there's going to be it's going to be remain behind there. He says, let me read it right. Tishar will remain ha'aros yisod ha'abba, the radiance that's coming out of the yisod of Abba. The higher begilui b'yisod the rochel, it's still going to be there. It sounds like there's going to be a reshimo of this. And when the world turns around in such a way that now you come back into the same time again, which is the 14th day of Adar if you live in an unwalled city, or the 15th day of Adar if you live in a walled city. He says, the hoyer begilu b'yisod the rochel, so now it's going to come out anyway. Velotis batal will never be nullified. This happens every year anew, every single Purim. And that now is the menes of Purim, because on that day it still shines. It shines through the yisod of the nook. Because all the rest of the times of the year is not like that. That every day, when we come to the tefillah of the Shmona Esrei Shal Shachris, so we go through the Shmona Esrei, and we see that the pattern of going ach ba'ach continues. With the tevis ba'ava, and the word of ava, na'asa dormita b'zer anpin, it makes a dormita in zer anpin. V'chanasira, that also takes place. The tevis melech ozer, and when you get to melech ozer Mashiach Mogain, that part of the Shmona Esrei, na'asach b'din hanuk, it's made out of the din of the nook. V'mecha b'purim, and when the time of Purim comes, gam achar shachozim zun la'amod panim b'panim, and now they're face to face, adayim ha'aras Mordechai. Even so, that place, the position that the nook is in now, that's what he's saying, she's face to face with Zer Anpin. He said, Nimshechas Menuk Begilui, it comes out and pours out into the open. Tremendous light for all to see. Nimshecha Benuk Begilui, it comes into the nook in a revealed state. So this is the secret of what the pasuk says. V'zichram lo Yosef v'zaram, v'zicharam lo Yosef mizaram. I actually read it wrong. It's v'zichram, their remembrance, lo Yasuf, should not end mizaram, from their seed. That's us. Ki osa ha'ara, because that light, that radiance that we're talking about, he ataras yisod ha'zachar da Abba. This is the tip, once again, of the yisod of Abba. Hanikva zachar, which is male. This is called a zachar, which is a play on the word of zecher, which means to remember. Kenoida. V'zichram zeh. So this remembrance, lo yasuf mizaron, will never be ended from their seed. B'mecha b'purim shebakol shana v'shana kenizker, every single year, as we know and mention. So the pasuk v'zichram d'hainach ba'aras ataras yisod da'abach hanikva zachar. And that's what they mean when they say, and their remembrance, what we remember of. The hainach aras ataras yisod da'abba, that is the shining. It comes from the ataras yisod of Abba, hanikva zachar. A yotzim yisod the nook, that comes out of the yisod of the nook. Lo Yosef mizaron, it will never be made, it will never finish from their seed, it will never be ended. Shetihi ha'ara kayemas the doros olam the yisrael, so that it's for forever in the generations of the new offspring of the Jewish people. B'meira Purim b'kol shana v'shana dur Purim, every single year, v'los hispata misham, called Yemecha Purim, and will never be nullified all those days of Purim. And that's the shir today, so we see that this light is still coming out, but it seems like to me that the light is coming out, they're now face to face. So therefore the nook is in a different position. And she has a tremendous amount more light coming into her to begin with, and now this light comes out into Gilui. This is what I think that the Rav has been saying. This is Baruch Fleischman. You're listening to the Tikkun Elevator Kollel.